Hi, I'm Daren from SourceDay. In this overview, I'm going to demonstrate how SourceDay will automate POs from your ERP and enable real-time supplier collaboration. This is going to allow your ERP to remain the source of truth and contain accurate PO due dates, quantities, and prices. To begin, we're going to review the document flow from your ERP to SourceDay. When MRP runs or a PO is created manually, that demand is usually emailed or called into a supplier. The supplier has to provide some type of acknowledgement back, which is usually done the same way: email, spreadsheets, phone calls, or text. This is where the process of these orders get lost. SourceDay is going to eliminate that black hole by providing a digital channel from the ERP to the supplier. The supplier is going to be notified that there's a new or updated PO or PO lines that has to be acknowledged. Since SourceDay is a multi-tenant SaaS solution, we're able to gain insights across the platform. One data point that we monitor is the frequency that a PO line changes. Currently, our data is telling us that 50 to 60% of the time, a supplier is going to make a change to that due date, that quantity, or that price. The happy path of 100% acknowledgement usually doesn't happen. This is where the real-time collaboration comes into play. In this demonstration, we're going to focus on the buyer side of SourceDay. Here, the buyer has a dashboard that shows them all of the activity of what is happening across things like multiple sites or buyers or planners. There's alerts that show us MRP activity that's coming from ERP, things like move-ins, move-outs, or cancellations. But for now, we want to focus on the update area that's going to take us directly into those PO lines that have been changed by the supplier. And we know usually 52% of the time, something's changing on those PO lines. We now can manage by exception. There's no need to search through emails or spreadsheets to find out potentially what has changed. All of those changes would immediately surface to the buyer planner so they can see changes to due dates, quantities, or prices. These now can also be managed in mass, so we're able to make strategic decisions about what might be impacting downstream activity. So we can either accept these changes, we could reject them, or we can put them on hold if we need to talk more to production or customer service about the impact to customer orders or production planning. Let's go back to our document flow for a second. So if a buyer or planner accepts those PO lines, SourceDay is automatically going to send the signal back to ERP and update those PO details inside of ERP. If they're rejected, immediately a notice is going to be sent back to the supplier where additional collaboration is going to have to happen. So what we're doing is we're eliminating that manual process of spreadsheets, emails, phone calls back and forth. We're preventing missed or partial shipments, late orders, unexpected prices increases that are coming up on an invoice, and ultimately just that fire drill of activities that's happening as part of this change process. We've built a tight integration in ERP that's ensuring all the PO details are up to date and accurate, making sure those downstream activities of production and planning are kept in sync. Let's jump back into the buyer dashboard and cover a few other areas that would be important to you. As stated before, SourceDay is all about managing by exception. Therefore, as a status changes on a PO line, it automatically falls into the associated tab. This means that buyers and planners, they do not have to actively monitor updates on POs. Most organizations we talk to, they're managing these updates usually on some open order report that's run out of ERP daily or weekly. That's usually coming with stale data. So these order reports are usually filtered, sorted, followed up on. Often, many times, POs are already late. SourceDay is going to run these reports automatically for you, providing robust filtering and searching. But this is still a very reactive approach to order management. So SourceDay created something called Radar. This is giving you the option to define the final order confirmation notice period required by a supplier. This can be varied by supplier as well. So an international-based supplier might have a long radar period versus a local supplier down the street might have a shorter radar period. This proactive approach and this consistent reminder to the supplier has helped our customers with a 40% reduction in late orders. What this means is this proactive communication of any changes to those dates or quantities. They're going to be caught before it becomes a missed order, a late order, or a short order. Again, it's a proactive approach. Depending on how your logistics are handled, SourceDay supports the supplier creation of ASNs along with the printing of barcode shipping labels and packing slips. This information is immediately visible and alerted to SourceDay users so they can see the details of what is being shipped, when, and any associated shipping documents. We just covered many of the transactional benefits of SourceDay and how it's improving the data in ERP through real-time supplier collaboration and exception management like this. The last thing I want to review is the power of the data and the insight that SourceDay can bring to the organization. With all of the real-time transactions happening in SourceDay, we're able to create a two-way communication between the buyer and the seller with configurable scorecards and also executive dashboards. Let's dig into the personas that would be managing the supplier relationship and these scorecards. In SourceDay, you can minimize the risk and increase supplier communication by using real-time data. You can measure what matters most to the business and hold suppliers accountable with configurable scorecards that look at metrics like on-time delivery and exceptions. Behind every scorecard, suppliers have specific grades and all the associated transactional details. Your organization can control the weights and grades associated and also determine if that scorecard should be shared directly with the supplier. For the leadership team, SourceDay provides insights that are typically hidden and hard to obtain out of ERP. These real-time metrics can benefit your business by preventing risk and protecting revenue. In another video, we will spend more time showing you the details of executive insights, but for today, we want to cover a few key metrics. On time and full. This provides valuable insight to the organization, helping ensure that your customer orders can be met on time. An on-time partial shipment can have major production impact. Partial or change orders just don't impact production, but there can be a direct financial hit. Looking at price variance can give us insights to what supplier or parts need to be addressed. From the main overview, we can access all the details and they can easily be surfaced. Using SourceDay is providing easy and quick views to help executives manage by exception and also make proactive decisions about their supply chain. During this overview, you saw how SourceDay is solving one of the biggest challenges you have with your suppliers, efficient collaboration. I covered better communication with timely acknowledgements from your suppliers and a simple way to review PO changes that they propose, which we know that happens about 52% of the time. Once those changes are accepted, it's so important that those PO lines are automatically updated in ERP. This avoids the downstream ripple effect of having inaccurate ERP data, which is going to impact production and your customer orders. Lastly, managing performance through scorecards and executive insights provides a modern, proactive, and truly collaborative portal for your organization. Please check out SourceDay.com or our YouTube channel for additional demonstrations. Reach out to your SourceDay sales team or send me an email with any questions or comments. It's Daren, D-A-R-E-N, @SourceDay.com. Thanks for spending time with SourceDay.